How you been? Good. Everything's good.
I'm all right, my brother. I'm all right. And you? You
Well,
look
I just
fantastic.
got back from from Florida, Tampa. Actually, we just left, and then we've got they closed the airport because of the
Oh, right,
yeah.
right.
So
So you just made it out.
yeah, just
Wow.
and I got there right after the other one stopped.
Oh, Jesus. Were you there working or?
I wrote a book called Trejo: My Life of Crime, Redemption in Hollywood, and
I fucking got it right here, man. It's on the shelf.
I've been trying to write it for a long time, but I could never find anybody that really knew the streets. And
Right.
I got Donald. Donald grew up right by the border.
I know,
We
man.
ain't
He
got
grew up.
streets,
Yeah.
and so we
Yeah.
got together and it came out. Check this. This one's from
Japan.
Japan.
Oh, man. That's
Is that like the
fantastic.
coolest?
That's fantastic.
My cookbook, Kurt, is in 10th printing.
From the restaurant?
Yeah, the cookbook
Yeah.
that I did. I done three of them. They're
Wow.
doing really well.
That's fantastic, dude.
You know,
No, man, you're a
let's do
multi hyphenate.
let's do something else. Write something else, Kurt.
But yes, our friend Donal says hi, and and I knew when he was working on the book with you. We were chatting, and
Yeah.
was coming out, and you're a busy man.
You know what? It's so funny. I met Donald. I met Donald at the Hollywood Drug and Alcohol Center
Ah,
at like 12 o'clock at night. I went there for a meeting, and there's this little skinny kid next, behind the counter, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "Man, what's it to you? You know, you really care." I mean, he's really like belligerent. And I thought, I said, "Kill this little fucker." What do you? What the hell's the matter? I said, "You know what? You have a nice night." And I walked away. Right. 8 years later, I'm doing a movie called Reindeer Games with Ben Affleck,
right.
and they had cast some newcomer, Vin Diesel, for the part Jumpy, right? And he didn't fit the part. Period.
Right.
I knew that, and he kept having trouble with it. And I was talking to him, and he said, "Man, I'm supposed to be going to do this film, and I'm doing this for a favor for this producer." I said, "Well, a lot of times favors kill suckers if you're not careful." And he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Hey, you got a shot." "Let me tell you something, Holmes. You're not right for this. And if you don't stop now, if you wait till you get on camera, then everybody's gonna hate you. If you split before they start shooting, then you know what? They'll bring up somebody else."
Right, right.
So Vin Diesel, we go to pick him up in the morning, and he said, "Hey Dan, you know what? I already called him, man. I'm leaving this afternoon." "All right, cool, good. I'll see you." For me doing that, he called me, paid my rate, everything on Triple X.
Right, right, right.
You know what I
Because
mean?
you,
Boom, boom, favorite. And he came up and said, "Hey, I ain't drank or used in a while." I
well,
said, "Cool." And then who do they send up? Donal Logue. I met him in a meeting in Prince George, Canada. Now,
wow.
if you look at the map, there's Prince George, then there's Tundra, whatever the hell a tundra. Yeah. And we started talking. He remembered. I became his sponsor. He's been
Was he
clean
the,
ever
he was the
since.
skinny kid behind the counter?
He was the skinny kid behind the counter. And he's so fun. God, he's the love of my life now. I
No,
swear.
man, I love Donald. He's a soulful
And that's
cat, man.
when we started writing the book. I gave it to Maeve, my kid's mom, and I said, "Here, read these chapters." And she says, "You know what? It sounds like you. That sounds like you, dear."
Yeah.
I said, "Cool." Then he got it. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's like, I, I don't use a word like prolific. What the hell's a prolific? Sounds like some kind of bait you could use for special trout. Hey, I'll put that prolific on you. So it came out pretty good. It made number 2 on the bestseller.
No, no, it's good, man. It's good. It's mostly all I read is nonfiction, dude. So I have so many biographies, and no, and I know some of your story because I've heard you from the podium a couple of times, and but the early stuff I didn't know, uh, but I knew Donal, different neighborhoods, same world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that really it totally comes across. I don't have the cookbooks yet, though.
You're good.
I'll have to jump on that.
Good. Some of my mom's favorite recipes, but we had to take out like the lard. Wait a minute.
had to
You
had
scoop the
to
lard now.
had to woke it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're doing that. Kate and I started this podcast a while back, and with our good friend and producer Katie Curtright, and for us it was an opportunity to basically, hey, people we know, people we don't know, we know them professionally or whatever, but we don't know their whole story, right? So on a bigger episode, which we want to get you on to do, where we do the whole thing, we would engage and ask questions and basically not talk about the business as much as the person, how the person grew up, all their influences that led them to the person we understand now, right? But on these little segments, Slice of Pies, what we do is we dig in more to the business end of it and the entertainment end of it, and we dig in and have fans ask questions about, obviously it'll be leaning into your work on Sons, but it's questions either. Here's what I'll say: most of the questions we probably won't have an answer to. But it's mythology questions and stuff like that. So I think you've had some opportunity to check these out. So this first one is I kind of know the answer to this. You probably won't remember this because I barely did, which was why didn't Parada Romeo return? And let me answer that one first. When we said you were like the head of Galindo's
Huh?
military cartel, right? Like you were the muscle.
Yeah.
And then we played you as making a deal with the feds, so you were sort of this operative. And to me, once you get into that world of double agents, and it becomes difficult to set that up moving forward because you're never quite sure who the character is or where they're going. And I think for a large part we kind of wrangled in the cartel piece of it, and ironically or mythologically, that world, the Galindo, became part of Mayans, right? Danny Pino played Galindo's son, who then took over the organization. But so some of it was just we would have had to dive much deeper into that world, which wasn't really Sons, and I'm glad we didn't because it ultimately became Mayan mythology, right? Now, the next question was, if you, Danny, could have played any other role from Sons, who would it be?
What was that blonde kid's name?
Jax?
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that? The blonde one? He
I
was in
love him.
most of the
Hey,
episodes.
I opened up a restaurant in his neighborhood, man.
Yeah, you're right down the street from us, dude.
No, I opened up a restaurant in London.
Oh, really?
London on Portobello Road, yeah, and
Oh, wow.
killing it because they don't got good food over there.
Well,
It's
they don't
like,
have good Mexican food, dude. Oh man,
it all so
you
so
walk into
we
a Mexican
killing it.
restaurant there, and you're like, these
That
are not
restaurant's
beans.
killing it. I'm opening up another one there. and they're doing pretty good. But you know what? It was like all of them. It's
Yeah.
like every role there had a good spot, and it
Yeah.
was a good. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the fact. I wish I could have rode a motorcycle, but I loved the whole premise and
Yeah.
the good guy, bad guy. Oh, good guy, bad guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
And the real world.
Yeah.
The real world. And the reality is the bad guys, the good guys might have to make deals with the bad guys to get the badder guys. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way the
It's the
whole
way it
thing works.
works. Yeah. You know what's interesting to me is, and I think we're speaking of a mutual friend here, Emilio, and for me, I mean, I loved working with Emilio. He's
Yeah.
such a soulful dude. And when Mayans came around, to be able to plug him in and be the conduit to that mythology, if there was any dude I could have hoped for to be able to do that, because Emilio,
Yeah, I love it.
like us, he has a lot of gratitude for fucking being alive. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that gratitude just permeates his work, his working environment. Like he's one of those guys you just want around. And to be able to then use him as the entree into that, just really without a plan, was so cool for me. You know what I mean?
I've known that guy since God. We've been friends for a long time.
No, man, you're one of his mentors. You're one of the guys that said, "Hey, you can do this."
Yeah, he's yeah, God, I did Con Air. We did Con Air together. I mean, he's just been he's been a good friend for a long time, and
Yeah,
he's always over at my house watching the fights. We all
yeah,
get together and watch the fights, and any party I have, he's always here. Yeah.
that's good.
Good
He's a
dude.
good boy, man, and his family is great. This is one I'm even curious about, dude. And this is from Other Sprinkles 9 on Reddit. Asks this question: what is your favorite or most meaningful tattoo?
I got a picture of my three kids in the back, on my back, and Jesus is watching over them. The tattoo that's given me the most, uh, God, put me on a map, is the one on my chest.
Right, right.
That was done by Harry Super Jew Ross in three different penitentiaries. We started it in Quinton, and he got the outline, and then I got what they call an institutional transfer, which is institutional convenience. In other words, you're fucking up too much, and they want you out of there. So I got sent to Folsom, and it was funny. It was almost like a scene out of a love story because he's standing on the dock, and I'm in the bus in chains, and he's, wait for me, I'll be in Folsom. Okay,
Did
I'll
you get
wait.
transferred too? There
His
you go.
first tattoo, and he wanted to finish it, right?
Oh my
And
God.
so then he comes to Folsom, and we finished did more, and then the big riot in Folsom, they sent me to Soledad. I think he was almost done, so he showed up in Soledad, finished it, but it was so funny. Every movie I was in, the first 2 years in the business, director would say, "Take your shirt off." They wanted to see that tattoo,
Right,
and
right, right.
the tattoo became more famous than me.
No, that's so
These
wild,
guys,
man.
these guys took a meeting to Khan, to the festival,
Right.
and they was, yeah, we want to do this with Danny Trejo. But who? The guy with this tattoo. Oh yeah, that guy. So the tattoo became more famous than I did,
Oh, wow, that's
and
wild.
yeah, the first movie I got to do that I didn't have to take off my shirt was a movie called Death Wish 4 with Charles Bronson. I got to wear a suit.
What, what did no, I love that it took three
3 years.
institutions. I mean, I've had tattoo. The guy that I work with mainly now is in Austin, so I gotta schlep if I want work. But if you, I do love the fact that like he basically followed you to finish it.
Well,
That's
he came out here. He became an amazing tattoo artist. He had a big shop right there on Van Nuys Boulevard before he passed away. And this is a guy I've known since we were 14 years old.
really,
Yeah, so
I love that, man. Oh, here you go. This is a good question. This is from Sylvia's daughter on YouTube, and she says, "Hi, Danny. I've been a big fan for years. Is there a role that you passed on but now wish you had accepted?"
nah, I whatever they give me, I'll take it. It's what to me it's kind of like a house painter or a mechanic. And if somebody comes in, with a car and we need a transmission, got it, and so I'll do whatever you got. The check cleared,
Right, 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 right,
and let's do it. I'll play a tree.
right, right.
You want fruit on me? Just make my check bigger.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a business, and I know whoever's going to pay me doesn't want to make a bad movie.
right, right, right,
You know what I mean? And so it's up to me to do the best I can for whatever the role is. Now, if
right,
I don't like the role, then I might not.
right,
Can we change this or can we do that?
right, right.
I don't think I've ever had a role that I wouldn't do.
It's interesting. I remember, and I'm probably wrong here, but I do remember. I think it was Martin Sheen who was talking about at one point early on in his career about what roles do you take, and the idea that when he takes a role, that his job is, as you're saying, is the intention is never to do something that's not good. So he always saw the opportunity to elevate whatever it is he was doing. Which for us is love and service, right? It's like I show up, and if I look around and I can either go, oh, this is a bullshit
Yeah.
whatever, why try? But if I show up and I bring my game and I do the best I can, that shit's contagious, right? And you elevate it, right?
You know what, Kurt? I got this job once, right? And they paid me good money, and it was in the desert, okay? And it's summer, so basically that means desert hot, okay? So I didn't pack any winter clothes. I just went and got in my trailer and my honey wagon thing, and there was going to be a strike. All these guys, the intellectuals, were it's too hot, and I'm a worker bee. You know what I mean? It's like the producer, the director, they were all like frustrated and pissed off, and one of them saw me and they said, "What the hell are you going to do?" I said, "Hey, fuck you. I got a towel and some suntan oil. I'm gonna get fuck you." It's I'm gonna find a way to make the best, whatever. And so all I did was I got the little towel and I covered my face because you can't get that. But boy, I had the best tan you ever seen, man. I was copper toe motherfucker. You know, and it's like you're going to the desert. It's gonna be hot.
Fucking hot. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be cold.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
you got to
don't take
throw
the
some
job.
logic at that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do one more here, and then I know you got to split. I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyhow. This is from Chelsea in Oregon on YouTube, and she asks, "Can you share a pivotal moment in your career that essentially changed things for you, right? That took you sort of in the direction, or I perceive as the question is taking you where you are now, like."
Well, I think meeting my cousin Robert Rodriguez. We got 13 movies together. That was one. The other one was doing the movie Heat, which propelled me into another
Tell
another
that story. Tell that story. I know you've told it 1,000 times, but I want to hear it again.
heat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was with like I got to be like with Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, Tom Sizemore, John Boyd. These were all the A players, and I got to be with them, and I got to act with them. So automatically, that pushes my stock up,
Right.
and right after that, we asked. Robert De Niro if he would do Machete with us, and he's absolutely,
I love
So
that.
that was like a real turning point as far as the movies that I did,
Right.
and I work constantly.
I know you do, man. You don't fucking slow down.
I yeah, and I like it that way. I
Hmm.
love it that way. Like I said, I just got back from during the strike, I did 7 states in 8 weeks because we did the Comic Con and the
Right. Right.
signing.
Right.
Free
Right.
money.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. I get it. In Heat though, were didn't your role expand as the movie went on?
Absolutely.
Like,
Well, you know what? See, the thing was is that Michael Mann was a fan of an uncle of mine, Gilbert Trejo, that he did a movie with him in Folsom.
oh God, I never knew
You
that.
know, he did the Jericho Mile, and when I met him on Heat, he mistook me for Gilbert first, and then after that, he realized when I told him that Gilbert had OD'd and died. All of a sudden, it's like I was one of the main players in Heat, and he called my name. He changed my name from I forget what my name was but he called me Gilbert Trejo in the movie.
In the movie.
Yeah,
Oh right. I
and
didn't. Oh
and
right. I
my
never knew that was your uncle.
my whole family, man, it was like
Wow.
wow, and they were all crying and oh my god,
Oh
and
my God.
it was like just really a homage to my uncle and
Right.
Gilbert. It's so funny. My uncle's son, when he came out of the joint, and he said, "Man, you know what? When everybody saw that movie, wow, it's Gilbert. His name was Gilbert. And
Yeah.
yeah, Gilbert was a hero in the joint too.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so.
Danny, thank you so much, man. I love you. I think you're just such a soulful and real human being. And Kate and I want to get you on for the full
Awesome.
thing when you have time, because you're a busy motherfucker. So,
Write something
but
else for. Let's do it.
and
You
we'll
bet.
have you at the Christmas party because I've never the Feliz Navidad will
Yeah,
always I it was
I
the
can
best
also.
part of my fucking year, dude.
God bless you, man. And Katie, I adore you, and I will always adore you, my darling.
That was the amazing Danny Trejo, whose movie is it VOD or is it yes is called Seven Cemeteries. Check it out, and if you've not read his bio, check that out. It's really uh, it's uh, it's well, as you can imagine, it's an amazing story, and uh, and I will be buying the cookbooks. So I'm solo today because my dear wife will be schlepping off to Cape Town soon, and she is in a frenzy trying to get shit done before she goes. Um, and but she will be back for our full versions of Pi. Uh, and I thank you. What else, Katie? Is that it?
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch. Yes, buy our fucking merch. I'm gonna have some. You know what I'm gonna do? I have these old mugs with my old logo, which
Oh
I
yeah.
love. These giant
Yeah.
mugs. I'm gonna get some with the new logo on.
Smart. That's
You
smart. We should
know?
sell it on the merch page. I'm
Yeah,
also
yeah.
getting you more t-shirts so you can model them for the fans.
Please too. Thank you, darling.